Hello, vinyl community. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? So how's the vinyl collecting for you? You guys buying some stuff and finding some good stuff out there? There's all kinds of good vinyl out there for all kinds of fun, good collecting. That's for sure. Oh, got fleas. Just kidding. All right, I'm kind of a jokester. If you haven't watched my videos, kind of figuring that out already. Alrighty, back to the vinyl frontier. And my first one up is the Beatles and Frank Ifield. Here's the back. Frank Ifield, I don't know if any of you are really familiar with him. I know a lot of the Beatle people are. And he sort of sounds like a Slim Whitman kind of singer. He's just got that yodeling voice, and it's just... wow. I was gonna say it's like listening to Yoko with a yodel, but it's rough. There's the vinyl. Kind of in the way there. This is very clean. Vinyl on that. Yeah, so he's kind of rough vocal to listen to. And I can't imagine them pairing him up with the Beatles. Oh my gosh. I can understand the Beatles in the Four Seasons, and that makes a little bit more sense. That's got a little bit more something to bite into. But oof, Frank Ifield. All right, next album. All right, now I want you to all stay calm because this is a very rare album, exclusively being shown right now. So as Ed Sullivan says, and the Beatles sing, simmer down, simmer down. No, so no screaming and yelling. Here it is, the Beatles. Yay, on Vijay. Beatles album. Oh, before I go to the back, I'm pulling your all leg. This is a bootleg. This doesn't have the shadow like the real one does. Nor does it have the correct lineup as well. But for some reason, I'm not buying the other one because this has sentimental value. This was my sister's album, and she's older than I am. And I guess at the time, my parents took her out to buy this album in '64. So you kind of wonder, I haven't been able to find out if bootlegs were pressed then, or I seriously doubt it. But being a counterfeit, here's the record. But being a counterfeit, and I know, and she told me, remember talking to her, that was her album, and that's my parents got for her in '64. So anyway, so here's another one of my sisters. I only have like 2 or 3 that are originally my sisters. And this is the other one. This is on Vijay as well. It's we've moved a lot. My parents and myself and my sister when we were kids. So it's not in the best of shape. As you can see, the lineup and stuff. This album was so hastily put together, I think, that, when I saw her standing there, where they go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they started, singing, I saw her standing there. This doesn't even do that. This goes 4 like that, and you're like, what? It just jumps in. So it's kind of a jolt start, really. It's like the guy who was hitting the record button didn't do it on time, that's for sure. The vinyl, the other side. I'm kind of hurrying now because we want to get to Beatle news, which I promised you. Beatle news, I know. Next album, just kind of doing this one. This was for my Canadian people that are watching. Beatles in Canada. The Twist and Shout album. Da-da-dun, da-da-dun. All right, and here's the other side. Got a picture there. Kind of telling you the Beatles and stuff. Kind of neat. All right. Now the vinyl for that one as well. You set these things down, it sounds like you're throwing them. So noisy. Whoops. This is a second press. This isn't a first one. This is a second press. I haven't gotten the first press yet. My wife will like that word, yet. The other side. Yeah, my wife won't be too happy to hear that. You know, it's like, oh no, not more Beatles stuff coming in. Okay, now on for Beatle news. I told you I've got some information, some stuff to tell you about John Lennon, George Harrison news, Paul McCartney news, and even Ringo Starr news. So let's start off with Ringo Starr. Ringo Starr has got a new DVD out, and it's titled, oh, I was getting ready to say Caveman. Let's mess it up already. All right, take two. No, actually, the Blind Man. And so that movie has come out on DVD, and it's pretty rough. I had it originally on VHS when VHS was out, and Blind Man's a rough movie. It's like a spaghetti western. For those of you who don't know it, it's a kind of like a cowboy western movie. Ringo always wanted to do a cowboy western movie, and it's slow and it's dry and it's kind of boring and it just drags, and that's just the first 10 minutes. So but Blind Man is on a B-side of Ringo Starr 45, and I'm drawing a blank right now. I can't think of what it is. Like I said, I'm trying to get through this so I can get all my stuff information. But anyway, Blind Man is on a 45 on the B-side on Apple Records. It's on one of his records. Buku's the Blues, maybe? It could be. I'm drawing a blank right now. Anyway, I am a big car person. I do car photography, and I enjoy cars and go to a lot of car shows. And last night, this car was sold on an auction. This was John Lennon's Mercedes-Benz, and this sold here in the States. But the car itself did not sell. It went for $150,000 and didn't make it. But that was John Lennon's 1970 Mercedes 600, and it's a limousine. So for those of you that are interested in car stuff, this album, George Harrison. Let me give you a side profile of what that car would look like. Sorry about the glare. I got a little bit of glare popping in here with the lights. That's a Mercedes 600. George Harrison loved them. As a matter of fact, here's this Beatles book. George and John both had Mercedes limousines. Here's a picture of George Harrison in 1970 with that car that went for auction that was John Lennon's. So just to kind of show you that that's his car. Kind of a neat picture there to show you. But John Lennon in 73 gave the car to George Harrison. Wow, can you imagine that? Getting a car from one of the Beatles? Yikes, I couldn't imagine. That'd be fantastic. Or as I say, fat Beatleless. All right, on to Paul McCartney. We got Paul McCartney news. Paul McCartney is in the midst right now. He is suing Sony and ATV for the backlog of Beatles songs. He wants to get back to, what a pun of words. He wants to get back into the whole fact of Michael Jackson, talking too fast, owning them, and he wants to buy them back. So he's in the midst right now of suing Sony to get those songs back and all. So good luck, Paul. Hope they get back to you. That would be great. He's been fighting this for years, kind of back and forth with Sony and telling Michael what he did and didn't like about what Michael was doing with the songs. So that's kind of going on right now as well with Paul McCartney. George Harrison news. A few of you have been showing and talking about the new George Harrison box set and saying about how pricey it is, and I totally, absolutely agree with you. We do not need another compilation $500 box set of Beatle songs. Well, George Harrison albums, all of his albums. Yeah, it's great to have them all in one thing, but as a lot of us have, we've got a lot of George Harrison stuff. As I've got all of his albums when they came out, so I've bought all of them. Mine are all the original apples. The only one I don't have is the Live Japan one. I bought that on CD when it came out on CD. So that would be kind of neat to get on vinyl, like Joe. He's bought that recently from Germany. But we never saw that in the States, so that never came out on vinyl. That's kind of in the day when it was strong, heavy CD when that album came out. But anyway, if you're listening, Capitol or whoever, gosh, I'm sure you're not, but if you are, let's release video stuff. George has got some fantastic stuff on video. Let's get into that portion of what could be released. Like the concert of George in Japan, that was fantastic with Eric Clapton. I've got that on DVD and it just rocks. I mean, the quality is really good. The video, it's not somebody taken from the audience. It's actually like a pro shot, and it's excellent DVD. And then the concert before that, George did a concert in London before the Japanese one, and that's an excellent DVD as well. Both of those are complete. So if you guys want to release something, start putting out the video stuff, because he has got some excellent stuff on video. Those two concerts are just off the top of my head of thinking of stuff. We did get a little bit of the George Harrison Japan concert when they did the George Harrison box set, when that came out of all the CDs, and then the bonus CD was George Harrison's promos and a little bit of the concert from Japan. Yeah, it was good. I've already got the videos. I've had them for years, so it was okay, that part. It's kind of nice to get them on CD like that packaged, but we got a little bit of a tease in there of the Japanese stuff. So, gosh, that'd be fantastic. Next thing you know, Ringo will be coming out with a box set, which he hasn't done one at all of his albums. That'll probably be next. They have redigitalized not Sentimental Journey, Buku's the Blues, and that's out. Only on CD, and I've only seen some very rare copies. I do have a copy of that as well on CD, and it's fantastic, but it's Buku's the Blues, so it's like, ugh, not one of his better works, but that's good. So maybe Ringo release more of your stuff on digital. So anyway, I could talk on and on about Beatles stuff, but I think I'm kind of done for what I'm doing right now. So stay tuned. I've got a lot more coming up. Subscribe. Let me know what you think in comments. Let me know the feedback of what you think about all the new stuff that's going on in George and John and Ringo and Paul's life. So talk to you later, vinyl community. We've had a good one, and I'm out of here. Take care.